dear learners, welcome. This is our second lecture on marketing management. This is again unit 16 in block 4 of your course TS3. In our first lecture, we have discussed the basics. We have discussed what is marketing management, what are various elements of marketing, and what are the various functions and importance of marketing management. In this lecture, we will discuss about two very important elements, or we can say two important elements of marketing, that is the market segmentation and marketing mix. Before we move further, let us have a look on the learning objectives, or what are the objectives for this particular lecture. As I told you, we will be discussing about market segmentation and marketing mix. So first we will understand what is the need for market segmentation, and then we will understand what can be the various basis for market segmentation. Then we will understand what we mean by marketing mix. We will understand various components of marketing mix, and then we will understand the marketing mix for services. Before we move further, let us have a relook on marketing management. So marketing management, it revolves around identifying the needs of customers, then designing a product or service to satisfy those needs, then to promote, sell and deliver the product or service to the target market. So we can see that there are three important elements. We have discussed all these in detail in our previous lecture. First of all, we need to identify the need of the customers, then we will design a product or service to satisfy those needs, and then we need to promote, sell and deliver that product or service. In order to perform effectively these functions, we need to divide our potential customers or broad market into homogeneous groups, and we call these groups as market segments. And this process of dividing the customer base or the market in these homogeneous groups is known as market segmentation. So let us sum up it again. In order to effectively identify the need of customers and develop a product or service to satisfy those needs, and in order to promote, sell and deliver that particular product or service, we need to divide our broad market or customer base into homogeneous groups. These homogeneous groups, they are called as market segments, and this process of dividing the market into these groups, that is basically known as the market segmentation. Now as we know what is market segmentation, so what are the features of a good market segment? Means if we need to divide our market into various segments, then what are the features that a particular segment need to have? So the very first feature that a segment need to have is homogeneity. We have discussed into the definition also that the broad market is divided into homogeneous groups. So the first feature, that is the group that should be homogeneous. There are two different terms. One is homogeneous and one is heterogeneous. In heterogeneous, the things they are different, and in a homogeneous groups there is a similarity. So homogeneity of a group, it basically the degree of similarity, and degree of similarity of what the needs and wants of that particular group. So the effective market segment should be homogeneous, means there should be similarity in the needs and wants within that particular segment. Another feature of the market segment is it should be measurable in terms of size and purchasing power. Means we should be able to measure the group. Suppose we make a market segment that we are not able to measure. We make a market segment of entire India, but we are not able to measure the size, or we are not able to measure the purchasing power. Then it is of no use. Next feature, it should be viable. Means the market segment, it should be large and profitable enough. Means the market segment should not be very small, it should not be very large, and it should be profitable enough. Means when we are focus our marketing efforts on that particular segment, then the cost of marketing, it should be less than the benefits that we will be getting. Next is the market segment should be clearly identifiable, means we should be able to clearly identify the one segment from the another segment. Next is the market segment should be appropriate to the available resources, means we cannot make a market segment which is not suitable to our resources. Every organization has limited resources. Suppose we have a travel agency that is located in Delhi, and we make market segments on the basis of states or geographical segmentation, but we do not have the resources to cover each and every state, then this kind of segmentation is of no use. So first of all, we need to see what are the resources that we have, and then accordingly we have to make the market segments. So we know that we need in order to develop a product or service, and in order to effectively deliver it to the customers, the broad market need to be divided into various homogeneous groups. Homogeneity means the groups which have the similarity in their needs and wants, and this process is known as market segmentation, and these groups, they are known as the market segments. Now we will see what can be the basis for market segments. First of all, the market can be segmented geographically, means we can make the geographic segmentations. The segment, it can be based on the nation, it can be based on region, it can be based on state, it can be based on cities, further it can be based on the climate, it can be based on other classification like urban or rural. In case of tourism, these geographic segmentation, they play a very important role. Suppose you have an inbound travel agency, means that travel agency which is catering to the need of tourists that are coming to India. So the tourists coming from different nations, the tourists having different nationalities, they have different needs and they have different wants. Accordingly, the product should also differ to satisfy those differing needs and wants. So that particular agency, they can divide their market on the basis of various nationalities. Another segmentation, it can be on the basis of region. Suppose this same travel agency, it also deals in the domestic segment. So it can divide the entire region, entire country in different regions like Northern India, Southern India, Eastern India and Western India. So we can see that the southern tourists coming from South India to North India, they will be having different needs than the tourists from North India going to the South India. So accordingly, the travel agency need to make its product and services, or make changes in the product and services. Also, the segments can be on the basis of state. We can make the product according to state specific, and the segmentation can be on the basis of city also. Like we have metro cities, so we can make particular product or particular tour packages that satisfy the city dwellers or the persons or the potential tourists living in the cities. Then we can segment the market on the basis of the climate, like persons living on the warmer climate, and then they will be more likely to visit the colder climates and vice versa. So accordingly, the packages, they can be made. Then in the geographical segmentation, one segmentation can be urban or rural also. For the persons living in urban market, the rural segment, the rural environment, it can be an attraction and vice versa. So in order to develop tourism packages or tourism services that satisfy the needs of the persons living in different nations, in different religions, in different regions, in different states, in different cities, or in different climate conditions, or in differing rural or urban settings, it requires to alter the products and services accordingly. The next segmentation can be demographic. Demographic means the segmentation that is related to the population or individual features. So one segment can be age. As we can understand that the tourists of differing ages, they have differing needs and wants. For the same location, for the same temple, the tourist of lower age group or the younger age group, they require different services, and the tourist who are belonging to the older age group, they will be requiring different services. so we need to alter our tour packages accordingly. Then there can be segmentation on the basis of gender. There can be segmentation on the basis of marital status, like unmarried people who are in job, they can spend more than their married counterparts. Accordingly, the products and features or the tour packages, they need to be altered. Then the segmentation can be on the basis of education level. The persons who are more educated, they will demand more sophisticated services, and accordingly the tour packages or product or services, they need to be altered. The persons that those are having lower education levels, they might not demand that kind of sophisticated services. Then another important aspect is income, and that is, I think, automatically understood that the persons belonging to different income groups, like lower income group or the higher income group or middle income group, they will require different services. Very classic example is there are housing flats that are being offered by various organizations like Delhi Development Authority. They have segmented their product into lower income group, middle income group, or HIG, higher income group. This is simply the segmentation on the basis of the income. Then there can be employment status. For example, those persons who are working in the government sector, they get LTC, and those persons who are having their own business, they have the needs different than the persons who are working in the government or private sector. So the employment status also plays an important role in deciding the needs and wants, and then consequently deciding the product and services that they will demand. Religion can also be one of the segments basis for segmentation. For example, in case of different religions, there are different sites, so we need to make specific packages. So like for Hindus, there can be Char Dham packages. In case of Muslims, there can be Hajj Yatra packages. Also, there is a difference in the product and services demanded. Like for example, Zen tourist visiting to a particular location, they will demand specific Zen food, and accordingly this need to be factored into the product and services offered to them. Another basis for segmentation, it can be socio-cultural. In the socio-cultural segmentation, there can be language, it can be food habits, then it can be social class also. Language, suppose we want to sell a tour packages for entire Delhi, but in Delhi there are some people who understand English, there are some people who understand Hindi, there are some people who understand the particular language of their own region. So if we want to convey a message to the entire city of Delhi, then we need to make that package into different languages. Another example is the magazines. They are basically cater to the needs of the different market segments on the basis of language. You will find the competitive magazines in English and Hindi. Means they have segmented their market and they have altered their product in different languages. Accordingly, on the basis of food habits also, you have seen some hotels which say specifically that veg, and there are some hotels they are specifically selling non-veg. So what they have done, they have simply segmented their market on the basis of the food habits. Then the social class can also be a basis for the socio-cultural market segmentation. Another basis for market segmentation can be psychographic segmentation. In psychographic segmentation, one dimension is lifestyle. Lifestyle is simply the way in which a person lives. So our entire broad market, in our broad market or the set of group of potential buyers, there can be persons who follow different lifestyles. So accordingly we need to make changes in our product or services. Then another dimension of the psychographic segmentation can be attitude. It is simply the way of thinking or feeling about something. Then there can be value system, means what is good or what is important. The definition of good and important, it can be different for other different persons. So that can be the basis for the market segmentation. If we go for the examples like value system, some people they consider that the liquor, the consumption of alcohol, that is permissible for some persons and that is not permissible for some persons due to the religious reason or for the personal reasons. So we need to specify. You can see that some persons they smoke, some persons they don't smoke, and some hotels they have specific smoking areas for the persons who smoke. So how they came to know about this? That is basically the psychographic segmentation, or that is the lifestyle. Like the person who smoke, in order to cater the need for those persons, hotels they came up with the specific smoking zones in the hotels, and those persons who don't smoke, for them there are separate zones. So we have seen that in market segmentation we are dividing our potential market or our broad market into various segments. There is another thing, that is marketing mix. There is a difference in the market segmentation. We were dividing the market. In marketing mix, the marketing strategy is divided into various elements. So let us define marketing mix. It is basically the set of marketing tools that can be used by an organization in achieving its marketing objectives. Means this is the set of tools which an organization uses to achieve its marketing objectives. Now, according to Philip Kotler, Professor Philip Kotler, marketing mix, it is the set of controllable variables that the firm can use to influence the buyer's response. So it is basically the set. Set means there are elements more than one. Of controllable variables means that these can be controlled by the marketer, or these can be controlled by the business or by the firm, that can be used to influence the buyer's response. Means buyer's response to purchase a particular product or not to purchase a particular product. That particular response of the buyer, it can be altered or it can be managed by using the set of some controllable variables by the firm. That is basically the marketing mix. Another dimension, it is the combination of various elements which in totality constitutes the marketing system of the firm. In the very beginning I told you that in market segmentation the market is divided, and in marketing mix the marketing strategy is divided. So this definition is just vice versa, or the opposite. Means when we combine the elements of marketing mix, it constitutes the marketing system of the firm. We can say that marketing system of the firm can be divided into various elements. They are known as marketing mix. Or we can say that when we combine the various elements of the marketing mix, it constitutes the marketing system of the firm. Another definition, marketing mix refers to the set of actions or tactics that an organization uses to promote its brand or product in the market. So marketing mix basically refers to the set of actions or tactics or strategies that an organization or a firm uses to promote its brand or product in the market. In case of tourism business, it can be the set of actions or techniques or tactics or strategies that a travel organization uses to promote its brand or travel product or tour packages in the market. So that is basically the basic definition of the marketing mix. Now we will discuss what are various elements, because in the definition we have said that marketing mix is the set of controllable variables. So what are those variables that constitutes marketing mix? There are basically 4 variables that constitute marketing mix for products. These variables are price, place, then the promotion, and then the product itself. So we will discuss about all these variables in detail. So the first element, that is product. In case of product, it is also known as product mix. So the products, they can be altered. There can be variety of products, there can be variations in the quality, there can be variations in design, there can be variations in features, brand name, packaging, service, warranties, return policy, etc. These are all the elements that are related with the product mix. Means a product can be altered in all these ways. Then next is price. There can be various bases for pricing. There can be separate list price, there can be discount, there can be payment terms, there can be credit terms that decides the pricing mix. Then there can be the next element is promotion. In promotion we discuss about changing the advertising policy or advertising sales promotion, then the sales force, personal selling, etc. The element place, it typically deals with the distribution of the goods or services. In place we can alter the inventory management, we can alter the transportation, distribution channel and coverage, etc. So let us discuss in detail the first thing, that is the product mix. In case of product mix, there are certain elements, or you can say there are certain concepts. The first is the width. So product width is basically the number of product lines on offer. For example, the Coca-Cola, it deals in juices, soft drinks and mineral waters. So this gives the product width of this particular firm. For example, in case of tourism industry, Thomas Cook deals in the inbound packages, it deals in the outbound packages, it deals in the domestic packages, then it deals in the forex, then it deals in the travel insurance also. So this gives the product width for that particular organization. Then next dimension is depth. It means number of products within a product line. For example, for the same product Colgate, there can be different variants like Colgate Advance, there can be Colgate Active Salt, there can be Colgate Ved Shakti also. So for the Thomas Cook, for the same product, means for the same inbound tour packages, there can be different variants. Like there can be inbound packages for the northern India, inbound tour packages for southern India, inbound tour packages for central India, or inbound tour packages for Golden Triangle. So that gives the depth. Next is length. It is the total number of products in a product mix. For example, if a company is having 5 product lines and there are 10 products under each line, then the product length that particular organization will be 50. So in case of a travel agency, if it is operating 5 product lines, that is inbound, outbound, domestic, forex and travel insurance, and under each line there are 20 different products, so the product length for that organization, that will be 20 into 500. The next is the consistency, how closely the products are related to each other. Means there can be an organization which can offer products which are closely related to each other, and it also can offer the products that are not closely related to each other. For example, if you go to the showroom, Maruti showroom, you can find the car accessories there. So the accessories, auto accessories, they are closely related to their product. But you can also find the finance services or insurance services. So they are not very much closely related to their core product, because their core product is automobile, and what they are also offering, the finance and travel insurance services. But definitely they become the part of their product mix. So then after product mix, next is the price. So in case of price, there are various pricing strategies that a company, that an organization can employ to alter the buyer response. The very first is penetration pricing, and the classic example is Reliance Jio. In penetration pricing, the price of the product is kept too low. The price is kept at a very low level so that we capture a large market share. That is basically the penetration pricing. The next is scheming pricing. It is just opposite of the penetration pricing. In scheming pricing, the prices, they are kept at a higher level, so only the high income group or the premium customers, they buy that particular product or service. Then next can be competition pricing. Means we fix the price what our competitor is selling. Means the pricing is fixed on the basis of the competitor's price. If he is setting a high price, we will set also high price. If he is setting a lower price, then we will also set the price at a lower level. Then there come the premium pricing. The example is Apple iPhones, we all know. So they are always placed at a higher price. That is basically the premium pricing. Then there comes the psychological pricing. We have seen the sales wherein the prices are set at 99 rupees or 999 or 199. So basically what we are doing, what the marketer is doing, he is trying to alter the buyer response by telling him one less figure. Means 199 is just 1 rupee less than 2000, but 2000 has different psychological meaning than the 1999. So that is basically the psychological pricing. Then there can be bundle or package price. It is more prevalent in the tourism industry because we generally sell the tour packages where we combine various elements and then we offer the bundle or package price. Then there can be cost based pricing. It is simply when we add a markup on the cost. Means what is the cost that we are getting, means the cost that the company is incurring on production, they simply add a markup on that and then they fix the price. So that becomes the cost based pricing. Next is promotion mix. As we have seen that we have discussed about two elements. One is the product, means what we can make changes in product. Next we have discussed about the pricing. Then there comes the promotion mix. Promotion deals with the message, how a company or how an organization communicates to its potential buyers or communicates with its potential market. In case of promotion mix, the first is advertisement or advertising. It is basically the form of paid non-personal communication promoting a product or service with an identified sponsor. We have seen a lot of advertisements in our newspapers. So basically it is a kind of non-personal communication because no advertisement is addressing to some specific person. It is paid because the cost is being paid, and with an identified sponsor. For every advertisement you will find the sponsor, means who is paying for that particular advertisement. So that is the first element in promotion mix. Then there can be personal selling. It is also known as face-to-face selling, in which that is basically focus on the individual persons. So company appoints some salespersons who go to the customer. They tries to convince the customer in buying a product or service. It is a promotion method by which salesperson uses his or her skills and abilities in an attempt to make a sale. In case of services, personal selling is more beneficial. Then another element is sales promotion. It is basically short-term incentive or activities to increase the sale of a particular product. Like we have seen the Diwali sale or we have seen the end of season sales. These are all part of sales promotions. Means these are limited time offer, short-term incentives, and the purpose is to increase sale during a specific period of time. Then there come the public relations. So public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationship between the organizations and their publics. Here publics means the potential buyers or who are potential dealers or who are potential customers of their product and services. So public relation, it is a strategic communication process, and the purpose is to build mutually beneficial relationships with the prospective publics or buyers. Then another dimension is digital marketing. Nowadays it is quite popular. If you make some search on Google, and you will see that the digital advertisements for the similar product or services, they pop up in your Facebook and other pages. So that is basically the digital marketing, when we use the digital means to market or to convey the message with regard to our product and services. So far we have discussed about the product, we have discussed about the place, the price, we have discussed about promotion, and the next element in our marketing mix was place. So place basically deals with the distribution channels. There can be various distribution channels. The first is producer, he can sell directly to the consumers. Then the producer, he can sell through the retailers. Then there can be another channel wherein the producer, he appoints some wholesalers. Then there can be the retailers, and there can be the end users. So there can be various distribution channels that we need to decide. So these are the elements of marketing mix in case of tangible products. But what about services? Because the services, they have some specific features which differentiates them from products, and these features are intangible, means we cannot touch the services. Then there is heterogeneity. See, the products, they can be homogeneous, means if a company is producing soap, every soap bar will be identical, but the services, they are heterogeneous because they are being delivered by human. And then the services, they are inseparable from their place of production, and then the services, they are perishable, means we cannot store. So in order to market services in a better way, we add three more elements in the marketing mix for the services. One is process. It is the way by which service is delivered. Then the people who delivers the services. Then there can be the physical evidence, wherein we add some features of product, means we try to make the services tangible or homogeneous, or we try to make the services bit separable. So process is simply the way service is delivered. For example, in case of airlines, the check-in counters, how you manage the queues on check-in counters. So it is the way the service is delivered. We can open multiple counters, or we can have the single counter. So the same service is delivered in different ways. Then there can be trained staff. It is about the people who delivers the services. Then we can give the customers some tangible things, like the airlines, they can offer some tangible brochures for their customers that add the feature of tangibility to their service. So we have seen that there are various elements of marketing mix. Now marketing mix depends on some factors. One is the market situation, means how is the market performing. Then there can be the product life cycle stage. Every product also goes through various stages, like introduction, then there can be growth, there will be maturity and decline. So at each stage the marketing mix needs to differ. Then what are the marketing objectives of the firm? It also decides the marketing mix. And then the target market also defines the marketing mix. So just to sum up this present lecture, we have discussed two important aspects. One, we have talked about market segmentation, where we have discussed how to segment or how to divide our potential buyers, or how to divide our broad market into various segments which are homogeneous on the basis of their needs and wants, and how to cater their needs in a better way. Second thing, we have discussed about marketing mix, how the overall marketing strategy of a particular organization can be divided into various elements, that they are known as the elements of marketing mix, in order to achieve the marketing objectives of the firm in a better way.